What if I told you that to finally get the life you want, you have to go to war with your own mind? That every instinct you have to seek comfort, to fit in, to take the easy path, is a trap. It's a set of factory settings that, in the modern world, are designed to make you average. This is the one secret that truly successful people understand. They aren't superhuman. They have simply learned to override their default settings. Your brain is running on ancient software. It's wired to help you survive on the savannah. Eat sugar, save energy, and stick with the tribe. But that same software, in modern society, is what keeps you stuck. It's what makes you scroll on your phone when you know you should sleep. It's what makes you stay silent in a meeting when you have a great idea. You are not your programming. You are the programmer. Today, we're not talking about small life hacks. We're talking about a revolution, a total override of your default settings. Here are the 6 counter-instinctive secrets that are the true beginning of any great transformation. The first act of counter-programming is to master the treasure of later. Your human nature lives by one rule: I want it now. This is your primal brain, driven by dopamine, seeking immediate pleasure. It's the voice that says, just one more episode. Buy it now, pay it later. Start the diet tomorrow. It's the reason so many of us are drowning in credit card debt or wondering where all our time went. We are trading our future for a few seconds of pleasure right now. The philosopher Plato described this perfectly. He saw the human soul as a chariot. You, the driver, are reason. You are pulled by 2 horses, a noble horse of ambition and a wild, powerful horse of appetite. Your entire life is a struggle to control that wild horse. To go against your programming is to grab the reins. It's to practice delayed gratification. Think of it this way. A seed is a promise of a tree, but you have to be willing to bury it first. You have to accept the pain of planting and waiting to get the pleasure of the shade and fruit. So how do you do it? Don't just resist temptation. Reframe it. For example, when you feel the urge to doom scroll on your phone, don't fight it. Instead, open a savings account and name it My Future. Every time you resist scrolling for 30 minutes, transfer $5 into it. You are physically turning your discipline into a visible future reward. You're training that wild horse that later feels even better than now. This leads us to the second counter-instinctive secret: going against comfort. Your brain is designed to be efficient. It's a path of least resistance machine. Why burn calories when you don't have to? This is why you'd rather do 3 hours of easy, busy work than 1 hour of the hard, important work that will actually get you promoted. This comfort zone is a beautiful, warm, and deadly place. True growth, physical, mental, or financial, only happens in a state of discomfort. The perfect example is the gym. If you lift the same 10-pound weights every day, you will never get stronger. Your muscles require resistance and necessary difficulty to tear and rebuild. Your mind is exactly the same. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche's famous line, "That which does not kill me makes me stronger," is the ultimate anthem for this principle. You must seek the difficulty. You can apply this by actively scheduling discomfort. Pick one thing you're avoiding. Is it making that sales call? Learning that new software? Having that difficult conversation? That is your heavy weight. Your rule is simple. Do that one hard thing first thing in the morning. Do it before your brain is fully awake to tell you how hard it is. You are building success muscle by seeking, not avoiding, the strain. The third counter-instinctive act is to go against your ego. Our human nature hates to be wrong. Being wrong in the tribe could mean being exiled. So, we have a built-in lawyer in our heads, the ego, whose only job is to justify our actions and blame everyone else. The project failed because my team was lazy. I'm in debt because the economy is bad. This self-protection feels good, but it guarantees you will make the same mistake forever. The counter-instinctive act is to fire that lawyer and hire a detective. Is to look at your failures with cold, brutal honesty. Ray Dalio, who built one of the world's most successful hedge funds, forces this principle. He created a culture of radical transparency, where employees are rewarded for pointing out his mistakes. He realized his ego was the biggest threat to his success. The way to do this is to keep a mistake journal. When something goes wrong, don't write down what happened. Write down my role in it. For example, the project failed. My role, I didn't communicate the deadline clearly. I'm in debt. My role, I bought things I didn't need to impress people I don't like. This isn't about self-blame. It's about finding the one thing you can control and fixing it. This is how you stop repeating the past. The fourth counter-instinctive secret is to resist conformity. We are tribal animals. Our deep, primal fear is being kicked out of the group, so we conform. We look at what everyone else is doing, and we copy it. We chase the same popular jobs, buy the same hype stocks, and share the same safe opinions. The problem is, if you follow the herd, you will end up at the slaughterhouse. All true comebacks, all great opportunities, are found just outside the circle of what is popular. The philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer said, "A man can be himself only so long as he is alone. In a crowd, you are a role. Alone, you are you." This is where you can finally hear your own, quiet, original thoughts. You do this by practicing active solitude. Just look at Warren Buffett. His success isn't from following Wall Street. It's from sitting alone in his office in Omaha, Nebraska for decades, reading and thinking by himself. You can do this. Schedule 30 minutes a day. No phone, no music, no podcasts. Just you, a notebook, and a question. What do I really want? At first, it will be terrifyingly boring. Then it will be clarifying. Then it will become your superpower. This brings us to the fifth counter-instinctive act, creating a logical pause. Your brain is wired for reaction, not response. When you get an angry email, your amygdala, your emotional lizard brain, hijacks your mind. It screams, "Danger! Fight back! Send the angry email now." And every time you obey that impulse, you make your life worse. The counter-instinctive act is to create a pause between the feeling and the action. This pause is where your wisdom lives. This is the core of Stoicism. As the philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." You cannot control the event. You can only control the space between the event and your response. How do you do it? Create a physical rule to enforce a mental one. A great example is the 24-hour drafts rule. When you get that angry email or text, you can write any reply you want as mean and angry as you feel, but you are not allowed to send it. You must save it in your drafts folder for 24 hours. When you read it the next day, with your logical brain back online, you will delete it and write the smart, effective, non-emotional response that actually solves the problem. And that brings us to the sixth and final counter-instinctive secret, going against mental laziness. Our human nature is lazy, not physically lazy, mentally lazy. Our brain is a cognitive miser. It hates spending energy on deep original thought. So, it takes shortcuts. It reasons by analogy. Everyone else is doing it this way, so it must be the right way. This is why most lives are just copies of a copy. The counter-instinctive act is to stop copying and start thinking from scratch. This is what Elon Musk calls first principles thinking. When he wanted to build rockets, everyone said, "You can't. A rocket costs $65 million. Analogy thinking said, "I guess I need to find $65 million. But first principles thinking asked, "What is a rocket made of? Aluminum? Titanium? Copper?" On the open market, that's 2% of the total price. He realized the problem wasn't the materials, but the method. So he built his own. You can practice this using the Feynman technique. Take any problem you have. I can't save money. First, write down why. Because my rent and car payment are too high. Second, try to explain that to a 12-year-old. I have to live in this exact apartment and drive this exact car. The child would ask, why? You are forced to break your lazy assumptions and see the real first principle. I have chosen a lifestyle that costs more than I make. Suddenly, the real problem is clear. So, let's review these 6 betrayals of your base nature. Going against instant gratification, to trade pleasure for reward. Going against comfort, to seek the difficulty where growth lives. Going against your ego, to learn from your mistakes. Going against conformity, to find your own path in solitude. Going against emotion, to create a pause and respond with wisdom. And going against mental laziness, to think from first principles. This is not easy. Every one of these will feel wrong. It will feel unnatural. It will be lonely and it will be hard. But the path to an average, regret-filled life is easy. It's comfortable. It's what your default programming wants for you. The path to a remarkable life is, by definition, a counter-instinctive one. It's a path you must choose every single day. As the great psychologist M. Scott Peck wrote, "Life is difficult." He said this is a great truth, because once we truly accept it, once we stop expecting life to be easy, it ceases to be as difficult. You are not your primal programming. You are not your bad habits. You are the charioteer. It is time to pick up the reins.